What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out Black Diamond Guns and Gear. I'm Josh.
And I'm Josh.
Today we got a video where we're talking about our favorite concealed carry guns. I know a lot of people do like a top 5 or top 10 or whatever. We don't really have a number on it. We're just going to tell you what we would carry.
Now, all these pistols are something that we keep in our collection that is something that would be a go-to pistol if we had something other than what we carry.
Yeah.
Now, you already know me and Josh are avid Glock fans.
Yeah, we're fanboys.
And
It's
we
fine.
do-
It's fine. We can say it.
And we do carry Glocks.
Glock fanboys. It's fine. Embrace it. Let it mingle. We're Glock fanboys.
We're going to show you some Glocks, but we're also going to show you the pistols that we would choose over Glocks.
Yep.
If Glock wasn't an option.
If Glock was an option. So we were talking about this earlier, and we were kind of going over, I was asking him, like, hey, if we were going to do a video on this, should we put out a budget concealed carry gun? And he was like, we talk about budget stuff all the time because we basically want to tell people the best option there is for the money. Like, because we are the everyday guy, honestly. We still work 40-hour jobs. We don't do YouTube for a living. Like, this is our side gig, and we basically just want to tell people the best thing for the money out there. But what he was saying is, let's tell people what we actually carry, what we would have to choose in a situation if we didn't have a Glock. And to be honest with you, what we have on the table here is not something that we've mentioned in a lot of the other videos that we've done. What the ones we would actually carry. So let's start off. Let's get right into it. Right now, I'm carrying a Glock 43X. That is my go-to right now because which is what I have on now. But I love the 43X, man. It is basically a slimmed down version of a Glock 19. Same size frame, but the same slide size of a 43, regular Glock 43. I like it a lot because I can have these S15 magazines in here, and it carries 15 rounds with one in the chamber. I mean, that's just cool in my book. So
I think they're amazing firearms.
That's what I'm carrying now. Not only that, you have the added proven quality and stuff of a Glock. I think we did an S15 video where we were slamming it down on the table. We were smacking it just a little while ago. I mean, it's not going to go off if you drop it in the bathroom. I like the Glock 43X because it's slim, it's thin, and it's easy to carry. So that's my normal, usually everyday carry as of right now.
So normally, guys, I actually have it taken out of my pants right now. Normally, I carry a Gen 3 Glock 19. And the reason that I carry a Gen 3 Glock 19 is it's just easy. It's simple. It is probably the best Gen for me. It fits good in my hand. It feels good. And parts are readily available everywhere. You know, Gen 4 and Gen 5, sometimes it seems like it's harder to find parts for. Gen 3,
everywhere.
You could probably buy them at the Dollar General store. So I keep it in. I've got an extra 15 rounds over here, and what can you say? It's 31 rounds of come get you some. Now also, we had a Gen 3 Glock 19 over here. This is another Glock that I have, but this is one of the pistols that I would choose to carry if I had to choose to carry a pistol. Readily available is Gen 3 Glock 19. Just because it's so simple, there's not many moving parts, and it's proven, guys. It is absolutely proven.
I would agree with that 100%. Like I said, we're going to show you a couple Glocks here today. But what we would pick, I might as well go ahead and get this other Glock out of the way then. This is a Glock 26. This is also, I'm not going to unload it because there's no need to. I have a 15 round magazine in here from a Glock 19 because, as you know, in a regular 26, it carries 10 rounds with their magazines that come with them in the box. But I like to carry a little bit more, and I like the grip of a Glock 19. So basically, I have a 15 round magazine in here with a little X grip on here. I don't even know what company makes the X grip.
X grip.
It's just X grip.
I guess. I mean, every time that I see them in the stores, it just says X grip.
Yeah. So this is a little sleeve that goes, I guess, in between your magazine base plate and your frame of your Glock 26 to make it a complete frame for a Glock 19. So it gives me 15 rounds plus one in the chamber, so 16. And I love this pistol. I am surgical with this pistol, and I really am. And this is probably the best carry gun that I've ever had. And I would choose it over anything here except for when I'm wanting to carry something a little slimmer for this 43X. Like I said. Now, talking about the size of that frame, I was looking around a while back. Smith & Wesson made something. So with this one having the magazine and having to have that little sleeve there, I was like, man, I wish I could have something. I wish Glock would make a 26X. Something similar to the 19X, where it has a 19 size frame, or a 19 size slide, and a Glock 17 size frame. I wish they would make a 26X, where it has a 26 slide, 19 size frame. But they don't. But one company that does make something very similar is Smith & Wesson. They make the Smith & Wesson MP 2.0 as a 3.6 inch firearm. So it has the Glock 26 slide and a 19 size frame. So that's organically, I won't have to worry about putting a sleeve on this magazine. It just fits 15 rounds with something the slide size of a Glock 26. I think that's awesome. And Smith & Wesson is a proven also company that will be there till the end of time.
So if you didn't know that, guys, they're made in Massachusetts right now. Well, Smith & Wesson decided that they were not going to be in Massachusetts anymore. They're going to move their facility to Blount County, Tennessee, which is actually in our hometown.
Yeah. So what we're saying is we're probably going to go and apply at Smith & Wesson here a little bit.
Maybe.
I don't know. But either way, it is made in the United States, and it is a quality firearm, like Josh was saying. So that's something that Glock isn't doing. I mean, they're kind of made in Georgia, but for the most part, they're made in Austria, right?
Their headquarters is in Austria. Their manufacturing is actually in Georgia. There's several different firearms. Glock still imports some firearms, but most of them are made in Georgia. So if you look at the side of your Glock firearms, it says made in Austria, Glock Inc., Smyrna, Georgia. That means that it's made in Austria. You can also look here. This says, some of them, not this one, some of them say made in the United States. So yeah, it just depends on which Glock model that you get. Some of them are made right here.
So guys, what we're saying is basically if you want to support a United States company, I think it's very cool to either take Glock because they're made in Georgia or take Smith & Wesson because they're soon to be made in Blount County, Tennessee, which is where we're at.
Yep.
But we have a couple here that are not made in the United States, but are still very good quality firearms.
So let's talk about the VP9, guys. The VP9 is made by H&K. Now, H&K has a track record of making absolutely amazing firearms. All their G3s, all the MP5s, all the cool stuff. If it wasn't made by H&K, it probably sucks.
Yeah.
But H&K makes awesome firearms, and the VP9 does not, disappoint anybody.
Now, a regular VP9 is going to cost you how much?
Depending, I guess, anywhere from, depending on the model you get, $600-$700 to $1,000. Because they have VP9s with threaded barrels, optic cuts. Just depends on what you want. This one's the plain Jane VP9. I ended up getting it from a pawn shop for next to nothing.
Yeah.
That's why I own a VP9 because, well, obviously I'm poor, but I got a pistol for not the poors.
Yeah.
Because I bought it from a pawn shop cheap. The thing that I like about the VP9 is it has everything you already want on your pistol. And it feels good.
Yeah. It really does. This is the only firearm on this table we haven't done a video on.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. We need to do a video on it. But it really does feel good in your hand. And the only thing I would have to say that I'm very not a fan of, I said that really backwards, but the thing is, it has a paddle mag release on the actual trigger guard. I'm not a huge fan of that. But, we were talking about it before, and it has a lot to do with how you train. If you're training to do this in particular with your middle finger, like Josh says he did it, or my index finger, then you can train with it that way and be proficient with it. Me, I'm just used to using, side mag releases that are, right beside the trigger guard.
Yeah.
So it's just a training thing. If you train with it, you could probably master it.
If you pick this up and you were like, man, I really don't like the paddle mag release, just because it's something different. If you went to the range with, let's say, 2,000 rounds.
Yeah.
And you went and you trained with this paddle mag release, I think by the time you got through shooting, you'd be like,
you'd have it down.
I like it.
Yeah. You definitely have it down. So it is a quality firearm, and it's definitely something that I would pick if my Glock, something that I normally carry, is not available. We got one more left. No, two more left. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. There you go. You can talk about that.
So basically, I said if I was going to pick one, it would have to be the CZ P10C. This thing is definitely one of my favorite handguns besides a Glock and the Smith & Wesson. This is probably my third pick out of all those things. But I think it's a quality firearm. And the reason why I think it's a quality firearm is because I haven't heard any backlash about this or any of these firearms like we have about certain other polymer frame striker-fired handguns like the 320 or the 365. I know that we bash on SIG a lot, but there's a certain standard you have to hold yourself to. SIG is a good company as far as metal handguns go. Yes. We know this. 226 and all those other ones. They are great for metal-framed handguns. But when it comes to polymer-fired striker-fired handguns, or polymer-frame striker-fired handguns, they just drop the ball. And I think we know that. The military knows that. Everybody that bought a 320 that had one go off when it hit the ground knew that. Everyone that had 365s when their firing pins were breaking and their springs and stuff on the inside were going bad, everybody knows that. And they're like, oh, well, they fixed it now. It shouldn't have been like that from the beginning.
Still wouldn't trust it.
Guess what? None of these had those problems. That's the rant for the video, and I'm done with it. But still, this CZ P10C is basically the same size as a Glock 19, and it has great ergonomics, feels great in the hand. The slide serrations are freaking amazing. You could get a hold of those with freaking whatever you put on your hands. Doesn't matter how slippery it was, you could definitely get a hold of these things. They're just rugged. I like the actual stippling, or whatever you want to call it, on there, texture.
It does have a rough texture, guys, and that's the thing that, and Josh actually mentioned that, is if you were to go with the ergonomics of a Glock 19, this is very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. The only thing is the trigger guard's a little bit higher,
yeah,
and you won't get the Glock knuckle.
Sure. Yep. You can get right up on it, a little bit higher purchase.
The only thing that's not crazy about it is the way that the sight setup is made.
Yeah. I mean, these have excess big dot, what they call DXT2s, or are they the RAM sights? I can't remember which ones they are, actually. I don't know. But these are very weird and very hard to get a hold of and actually master, in my opinion.
Right. And to change them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you've ever changed CZ sights,
you know.
Basically,
this front sight you got to basically hammer out. I mean, we have a video on that, too. You have to hammer that front sight out, dude. It's so weird. Glocks are just easy to change. Most of the other ones are easy to change.
Yep.
But if it came down to a firearm that I had to pick over a Glock or what I would normally carry, CZ P10C would definitely be where it's at. They're all in the same vein of price. That's what we're basically getting at.
Yeah. Next up, guys, I'm going to thank our friends over in Israel for sending in the IWI Masada. Now, this is made by IWI, which makes proven firearms. Everything from the Galil, the X95, the Jericho. Then they came out with this, which is the polymer frame strike-fired pistol that the Israelis carry. And it is by far, to me, one of their superior handguns. Everything that you get with this firearm for the price is amazing. Already optic cut. Already has a 3-dot sight set. Amazing trigger. 1913 on the front. 17-round mag capacity. It's about the size of a Glock 19X. And $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the Masada. The reason I like the Masada also is not only do you have your slide stop and your mag release on this side, it's also on the other side, so it's full ambidextrous. The Masada is in the similar price point as the P10C, but with more options.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100% agree. Now, I think that when we did this video, it was a couple years ago, not everybody was making optic cut options on their firearms.
No.
Glock came out with basically their MOS system, but I think it was after the fact that guns like this came out, and they were one of the first ones to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, and basically now everybody is doing a optic cut option on all the
why
firearms.
would you not?
I agree. It's going that direction. A lot of people like to use red dots and stuff. We don't have a red dot here option, or we don't have a red dot on any of these pistols here, actually.
No.
Which is weird, but it is going that way, and I think a lot of people use them, so a lot of the manufacturers are like, you know what, we probably need to make them optic cut.
So, guys, this is our choices for pistols that we would conceal carry. Of course, we also had Glocks on the table if we didn't have Glock. So we have...
Top 8.
Yeah.
Top 8 picks of guns that we would probably pick if we didn't have a Glock.
No, top 7. Because these are basically the same thing.
Right, yeah.
7.
Anyway, top 7.
We can't count.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. We're trying to put out some more videos in the studio, trying to put out more videos because we have been lacking on them. So look for more to come. You can also go to Ballistic Ink and buy all of our merch, even though neither of us is wearing any. We have a lot of cool stuff up there. We got Let's Go Brandon shirts up there. That's pretty cool.
I know, those are awesome.
Yeah, Let's Go Brandon shirts and stickers and all that stuff on ballisticink.com. All that stuff is in the description below. You can find it.
Guys, you can also check out US All Shield at usallshield.com. Sign up and use promo code BDGG. Not only does it help out the channel, it'll save your ass in a pinch. Now, talking about promo codes, pretty much anywhere you go that we have promos for, more than likely it's going to be BDGG.
Yeah.
And all those promo codes can be found at 76tuesday.com.
Yeah, go check it out. Go check out our podcast we do every single week. Put it up every Tuesday, Firearms Radio Network, and also 76 Tuesday Podcast channel on YouTube. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Stay vigilant,
Stay safe.
and stay alive. And go check out some of these awesome handguns that we would absolutely approve of you carrying. Yeah.